Hi there, everyone. A little bit different of a backdrop today because I just have to record this video right now. And I don't even care if the lighting is bad or if my hair is crazy. I don't even care because I like can't stop smiling. I'm literally beaming with joy over the book that I just finished. And if you follow me on Instagram, I showed you all this book a few weeks ago. And I've actually been reading the book for a few weeks. So before we get into it, I'm Caitlin, I'm your geek girlfriend, and this is going to be my review. Another review in my Bookie Babe book review series. This is book number 7 in my 12 book challenge, which is great. I've read one book a month exactly, so that's awesome. And like I was saying, a few weeks ago, I picked this book up on a whim because I was at Walmart waiting for my photo order. This is a true story. And it said it was going to take like 4 hours to upload my photos or whatever, right? And I'm like, well, I'm not just going to sit here for 4 hours, and I'm already done looking around Walmart, which that was mistake number 1. So I was like, I'll just go get a book off the shelf. First book that I saw, Verity by Colleen Hoover. And this book is very popular right now. Actually, not super popular right now, but like a couple of months ago, like at the beginning of summer, it was all the rage. It was what everybody was talking about. Not exaggerating. And this book even like looks like it had been like picked up and like filled with when I got it. But when I first picked it up, I was like, it's fine, I'm not gonna buy it. I'm just gonna like read the first couple chapters, see what all the hype is about. I had to buy it, literally. I read like the first 4 chapters when I was sitting in Walmart. And then I was like, well, I have to bring this book home now. I read too much of it. I can't just go put it back. So I brought it home. And I read like a couple of chapters here or there, like after that. When I picked up the book today, I was on chapter 6, and the book itself, sorry, I'm recording this on my phone, so I'm trying not to have anything on my screen so you guys can see it. The book is told, I'll just go ahead and say this, I'm going to try not to give any spoilers. I am really reeling from the high of this book right now, like, anyway, the book is told through 2 different, I guess you could say perspectives. The main character reads a book in the book. So it's kind of like bookception. Like, the main character's name is Lowen, and she, reads a book written by an author named Verity, and so she's reading a book as you're reading a book. So I was on chapter 6 of the actual book, but Lowen was on like chapter 3 of the book that she's reading. I started at about page 90-ish this afternoon when I picked up the book, and I kid you not, I intended to just sit down for a little bit, like while Lucas was playing video games. Lucas is my husband, for those of you who don't know, if you're new to the channel or new to the blog. He was playing some video games. I was like, I'm just going to sit here and read. 4 hours later, I could not stop reading this book. Literally finished the entire book. I have not left this couch other than to just get a snack just now after I finished. And I immediately got on Insta, posted my initial review in a reel. If you're a follower over there, you can check out my latest reel. Here I am recording this video for YouTube because I'm just going to kill your suspense. 12 out of 10. I give this book a 12 out of 10. Off the chart. Off the chart. It is unlike anything that I've ever read. Now, I will say, I say it's unlike anything that I've ever read. That is because of the like, the bookception thing that I was talking about. Like, the main character is reading a book. So you kind of get lost in like where you are in the story. I will say if I were to describe this book in like one sentence, it is 50 Shades of Grey meets Insidious. That's how I would describe this book. Definitely not for younger readers. So this one, like young adult to adult, like 17 plus. If you're old enough to watch a rated R movie, you're old enough to read the book. I feel like that's a parental discretion thing. Lots of very explicit sexual content, very explicit sexual references, and very violent references. Also, very like explicit references to I would say psychotic or sociopathic behaviors, and like personality traits. I don't want to get too in depth there because there's a spoiler involved with that, and I'm trying not to give any spoilers. So yeah, just take it with a grain of salt. Lots of different relationship dynamics explored. But yeah, the explicit sexual content definitely gives me 50 Shades of Grey vibes, which is interesting because one of the acknowledgments that Colleen Hoover gave was to E.L. James. So that was really cool. So I definitely made that connection. And I am not a thriller reader. So this book kind of threw me off right off the gate because it says right on the cover, like gripping thriller or something like that. And that is not a book that I would normally read. Some other thrillers that I have read and enjoyed are like One of Us is Lying, One of Us is Next. Those have a little bit of thrill to them, a little bit of mystery suspense, but I'm typically like a romance novel person. And this book completely opened my eyes to the thriller suspense genre of reading. This has an era of mystery to it. It still has the romance drama, but it also has like family aspects in it that like if you are a mom or want to be a mom, there's something in there for you as well. If you are single, if you are married, like there is something for all women in this book. I even think men would like reading it. I'm not too sure about that, but it's not typically a male genre. But it is intense. It is intense. I was like gripping the book in like anger. I felt like kind of ashamed at reading it. Like I felt like I should be telling somebody about what I was reading. I felt like very uncomfortable reading it in different parts. Like I was like, wow, this is insane. This is insane. And then you get so close to the end, and I'm not going to say anything, but I was like getting really close to the end, and I was like, okay, yay, here we go. Wrapping things up. Everything's tying up with a little bow. And then the very last chapter, I'm just floored. I can't process what I just read. I can't piece it together. It doesn't make sense. Somebody make it make sense. This book just jumped into the ring of top 10 books I have ever read of all time. I was enthralled. I was entranced. I was scared. I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, I'll go ahead and say it. It's erotic. It's sensual. And it is amazing. 12 out of 10. Verity by Colleen Hoover. I posted in my reel, if you're a follower on Instagram, I just said, Colleen Hoover, you are a genius. And it makes me want to go and read all of her other books. However, I'm nervous that they're not going to be as good as this one. But I think part of it was, too, that I started reading this with, like, really low expectations. Because it wasn't something that I was initially drawn to. And it, like, the opening line is just, like, wow, in your face. That I was like, ooh, this might be a little intense for me. And so I think I went into it with kind of lower expectations than I would, and like It Ends With Us, or one of her like, you know, romancy ones. I truly cannot believe what I just read. I'm going to tell everybody I know about this book, and if you have not yet read this book, go ahead and pick it up. I got like I said, I got this from Walmart, $13.98. Excuse me. I literally already texted my sister-in-law, already texted my mom, and was like, you have to read this book. And in my reel, I of course was like being facetious, and I was like, do not read this book. You need, like, I say don't read the book because my brain is like so messed up right now in what I just read. Like, I cannot believe that this book came from somebody who writes like romance novels. Now, I've not read any of her other books. I will preface that. So maybe all of her books are like this, and that's why I'm intrigued to read the rest of them. But this one was a lot. So many emotions constantly. I mean, I read from page 91 to 314 tonight, guys. Like, I'm a pretty fast reader, but I was still like page turn, page turn, page turn, page turn, page turn. That's it. That's the whole review. Read this book. It's a 12 out of 10. Definitely jumps up into the top 10 books I've ever read. And definitely the best book I've read this year in 2022, for sure. And it'll be hard to beat this book, but I'm excited for the next one. And it is not Colleen Hoover, but you guys will have to stay tuned here on the channel to find out what book that is. But I am sorry to all authors after this, because it is going to be pretty hard to top this one this year. But we'll try again next year. And as always, I am on Goodreads, so you can find a little bit more detailed review over on Goodreads. I'm going to try not to put any spoilers in that one either, but that's going to be pretty hard. I do typically put a couple of other spoilers in the Goodreads ones, but you can follow me over there at Caitlin McClure, at Your Geeky Girlfriend. So thank you all for watching, and this impromptu had to record this video right now because I can't save my thoughts because they're going to just all be spewed everywhere. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. And thank you so much, Colleen Hoover, for this phenomenal read.